Hello, this is Eric of NotBIOS, and this is a not sponsored review. What I mean by that is, unlike most of the initial reviews, I'm going to actually see if I can make this thing fail on purpose and test it with different methods that are not meant normally the way it's been shown. Whiteboard? Well, how about a screen? How about a white screen? Well, we got to try that, don't you think? What if you want to show something on your computer screen and simply do the little symbol with the markers that allow it to focus? Will it work? And if I move too fast and get out of frame, what will it do? Will it just wander around? Will it stay where it is till I go back on scene? Will it capture me again? We're going to find all that and more in this review of the Insta360 Link. And eventually, we're going to have the comparison of the OzBot Tiny 4K, going through all the same sort of ideas head to head. So if I move, which one loses me first? What's the image quality like in a studio environment? Darkness, what's the image like? And we'll find out which one is better overall, and if it's really worth a little extra money to get the Insta. Now let's get started. So this is my first time ever opening the box. I haven't even opened it yet. I didn't try it, haven't installed software, have not done a darn thing. If there's any updates for this particular unit, I'm going to update it right away before I use it. Now the unit itself is very, very, very small, as we can see here. Now let's see how it compares to the OzBot. Let's go side by side, just a sec here. So right here we have our Insta that I'm holding in my hand, and we have the OzBot Tiny 4K. Look how much smaller the Insta is. That is super small. I definitely didn't expect this small. And I believe this one is a 1/4 inch standard thread. And then of course we got all the little plastic covering everything to make sure everything is protected. Let's get that all off. And there we go. We got the little mount here. Well, the build quality feels nice at least, and it has one USB port in the back. Now this unit is not the bundled unit. The bundled unit simply contains a tripod that I can buy basically the same amount from SmallRig or whatever the case is. So is it worthwhile? I'll leave it up to you. Of course, there's one that's made for this, if you're looking for a specific made for it. And here's our markers. So the regular non-bundle unit includes our whiteboard markers. We got our manual, quick start guide that is. Let's see if we can see that. USB cable, let's see which one this is and how big this is. Wow, this seems like it might have some length to it. So the included USB Type-C cable appears to be about 59 inches, which is 150 centimeters, and that is tip to tip. Now we also have an adapter to change that Type-C to Type-A USB. So here is the Type-C connection, but this has an adapter. The other side is Type-A. We can see it's USB 3 version because it's blue. So we have the newer standard, and you'll need that for the data of 4K. So for setting up, I need to install the Insta-Link360 download software. So the link itself is insta360.com/download. I'll leave a link in the description of this video. Image parameters preset is now supported. Routine, bug fixes, and user experience improvements. Insta360 Link controller. This is the desktop software. So I want that as well. Now this is something I'll have to get used to figure out how this works. I'm not used to a little taskbar like this. This is something totally unusual for me. Tracking. Oh, funky. My camera's actually following me right now, but you don't see that yet. Under more settings, let's see what we have. There should be some way to update this firmware. There's the build, download. Oh, I didn't even need to download it, it seems. I can update it right here. So we can skip downloading the firmware altogether. Who would have thunk? So when you're actually updating this device, make sure you do not lose power or turn off your computer. Right now it's only preparing firmware upload, but once it starts updating, we want to make sure that we have constant power. So the first time I tried updating this firmware, it failed. And the reason it failed is because my antivirus was blocking my camera. Right now I set my camera to 4K. We're going to use this mode right here on desktop. And the cool thing is I can use my mouse to move the camera around on the screen. First thing that became very useful. Preferences. I can choose the language. We don't have any language to choose from at this time. We have these languages that you see right here. We can choose our screenshot location, our microphone. I'm going to choose the InstaLink microphone that we're on here. And the save location is right where I see it. And now let's cover up one of the speakers. Now when I cover this up, you probably hear the audio differently. And let's try the other one. I don't know if it'll affect the audio. Here's the other side covered. I'm going to wobble my screen quite a bit. And I don't know how much it wobbled the camera. The gimbal itself of the camera seems to keep balance somewhat at least. So light shakes usually won't be noticed much. And the cool thing is it tends to be fairly level, even if you're slanted. Let's see if I can actually do this. Yeah, it's trying to maintain that horizon. So that's pretty cool that way. And right here, I can control direction. Click on my screen. I can do the zoom in. I can do the zoom out. And I can reset my position. Oh, wait. I can choose positions. This is the fun part. Watch this. I can choose this position. Now I'm going to go to right here, my light here. I'm going to add a position. And I'm going to zoom in. Okay, let's go add. Whoop, let's stop it. This will be position 2. Position 1. And let's add another position. Whoop, I want to delete that. Remove. Actually, delete. Where will be position 3? To my camera. I got a massive error, sorry. Yeah, we'll go to my camera. That'll be the next position. I'll add that one. And that's position 3. So check this out. Ooh. Ah. Yes. There we go, Bayan. That's kind of cool. And it's really fast, so pretty sweet that way. Now, right here, we've got a bunch of different settings, including auto exposure. If I turn the lights off, it'll get very grainy. Generally, I prefer to do this manually because I know about photography. The higher the ISO, the more grainy it is. Then I'll change shutter speed, but watch, look how grainy yet. Okay, I'm going to go to even a higher ISO. We're going to adjust it. Now, if I zoom in, look how bad it's going to look. So the more I zoom in, the more digital zoom it is, and the more grainy I get. However, I stay right here. Now I can show you what this really can do. ISO down, we're going to change it to 500, and I'm going to change the shutter speed all the way up. Look how much less grainy I am. Technique number 1. Photography. If you're a photographer, there's things you learn in a photography class. Okay. Of course, sharper movement would be obtained through higher shutter speed. So this gives me more of a blur when I move fast, I think. So you probably should see more of a blur. Let's go up in shutter speed. And so now I'd probably be less blurry when I move. Anyways, let's finish playing with that. And now exposure curve. This one is kind of, I don't care for this because but I can do weird things like this. You can see, and I can do weird things to dark, like look like some crazy madman. I try to hide my identity. The people are after me. Reset. Auto white balance. So this is backwards. Right now it says 56K. That's actually pretty accurate, fairly accurate to my room. 5000K, 5000K, and I have a light that should be 55 or 5600K. That's the brightest one in the room that's shining on my side right here. And then I have lights all over shining against the room. Wait, you don't even see that right now. Let's see if we can show you that. It's about 300 degrees in total this camera can move. So I'm going to be somewhat limited. I don't think I'm going a full circle. Manually, no, that's as far as I can go over. Well, that's way too zoomed in. Let's zoom out. Yeah, anyways. Let's go to position number 1. Back to me again. Now, let's check out the temperature. 3000 should be yellow. It's blue. Well, 8000K is definitely really blue, but it's yellow on this. It's backwards. Now I'm going to change it back to about, sure, 5500K. Go back to auto. The auto white balance is pretty good in this device, so that's good. Now brightness, let's see how it looks, and then go dim. And we're going to change it back to about 50% because that's where I like it. Contrast. See what it does. That's really washed out. But I like the contrast at 50 where it is. The settings are pretty good. Now I go crazy with color if I want to this way, and I look like I'm glowing. Saturation look like an old movie. Let's go back to the past where we started getting color. Here's the old video footage, vintage style. Back to saturation of 50 if I can. Well, come on. There we go. Sharpness. If we go down, it looks kind of not very sharp. And if I go right up, it looks pretty darn sharp. But you get a bit aliasing. You can see around here, probably could look a little glittery. But I do have a white hair, but still looks maybe look glittery. I like about 65 where it doesn't alias too much. But also, my sharpness is way up too. So because my ISO is nice and low. If I could even do 100, that'd be even better. If I was outside in the sun, I can actually go ISO like 100, then it'd be nice and sharp. Anything else I want to show? No, that's done. Now, we got this menu as well, gesture settings. Check this out, click question mark. I go here. Now, if I was in full screen mode, this won't even pop up. It drives me absolutely insane when this thing goes to full screen. I have to fight with it to get to window mode like it is right now. Absolutely crazy. But at least I'm not in window mode, so that's good. So it shows you how to do the different things. So it's pretty cool. It shows a video on how to do it on your Zoom. So I go like that, just like it's showing. But if it will actually work, oh, there we go. It's kind of flaky. Anyways, then I have whiteboard mode like everything else. But let's do auto track for the fun of it. That one works pretty easy. Right now I'm backwards. So it's very difficult. Now what I do to fix the backwards image, so where I'm on the screen is where I'm in person. It makes it so much, at least easier for me. Now tracking mode's on. We can also see it lit up right here. And it's going to follow me. Sweet. That one I actually like to have. However, AI zoom is a little bit nuts sometimes. So I can zoom, sit back, and it'll just focus on me. But the image will get more grainy if I have it really zoom on me, but the lower the ISO number, the clearer the image, even if it is zoomed. But it's digital zoom, that's the problem, it's digital. Non-digital zoom is not going to be such a problem. Now, half body is the zoom on me at a distance. Full body, I can't even get a full body image in this small room. It's only 70 square feet in size. In fact, I'm going to close the door right now. I got a mess in this room, sorry. You can see a bunch of equipment, soundboards and stuff. And let's see how far I can get. Sometimes the camera loses track of me, but it's doing a good job. And sadly I can't show you the light that's up here. Or can I? I'm going to track my hands. I'm going to track my hands. Are we going to get to this light? Can we show it? Oh, there we go. So you can see I have a little filter over top of the light to diffuse the light. That's called a diffuser. Because if I turn that off, let's see if I can go there. That's a bit dusty. That's a diffuser. Just kind of a cloth type material. And that gives me some different lighting in this room. And the camera's not knowing what to do. Okay, let's go ahead. So right now, this is a little bit too zoomed in for if you're doing a video. It could be okay, but it's a little bit tight. Now, if I would want to do a normal YouTube video, and I would set this up where my camera is, right about here's fine, but the AI zoom is a little bit, sometimes just a little bit palsy. Come on, you're so close. Right here I have a diffuser on this light. So this is a 5000K greater than 90% accuracy light. And it doesn't seem to flicker, and I don't need anti-flicker on, but I do have it on it anyways. So it's still pulsing, not moving. It still likes to pulse. Unlike pulsing focus, It just pulses with my zoom and zoom out. But if I'm close enough, it won't do anything. So until I move back. Ooh. Now, tracking speed. This is one that's kind of cool to have. Anti-flicker, by the way, this is if your power grid is 60 hertz, 50 hertz. Ours is 60. I'm just going to leave it auto because it works just the same. Now, tracking speed. Fast goes nuts. And it will actually overthrow itself. So if I go like this, it lost me. It didn't know what to do. Now I'll just go back to my position 1 that I chose on my screen. And that got me back in. Okay. Now, what else do I want to show you? Oh, slow track speed is a little more reasonable. Let's turn tracking back on. There we go. It's kind of slow. So normal for me, I think is the best overall. And let's go to AI track for the fun of it so I can get a nice zoom in. Now, focus, autofocus versus. So if I am trying to show something with this camera, it's going to stay focused on me, not this object cube right here until I block my face. See? Now if I go off my face. Now, so if I did want to set manually, I can now do that. And I can try, if I was good at this, but this is not something, there we go. Now I can manually focus so it doesn't have to be in front of my face. That's kind of what you use manual focus for if you're going to be in one spot and you want to show something. Now HDR, let's see if HDR looks. Yeah, the lights here are overshot, like right here, they're overblown. And here it looks pretty white compared to what I see in person. I think I go brighter maybe, I'm not sure. Let's see, HDR. I kind of like it, this thing, but HDR mode does not support 4K or 50 or 60 FPS. Doesn't matter to me. Not really. Not really. HDR mode I think is fine on this one. It worked better than my experience with the Insta. Not the Insta. Oh, OBSBot. Tiny 4K, I believe. I didn't like the HDR mode on there. Okay. Streamer mode. Now the one problem is it's gonna flip the camera. Let's see if it works. Oh, and it changed it out of 4K. Now, streamer mode, I'm going to have to change to the streaming mode and it's going to flip the camera. But I bet it's going to go blank again. And when it goes blank anyways, you can't even hear a sound from it. Because I'm using the Insta camera microphone. Because it disconnects. Like it's... Oh, okay. This time I'm going to have to fight with it. Thank you. Now I can do tracking still. Can I do AI zoom still? I don't think so. And it won't track me up this way. It only tracks side to side in this particular mode. So that's one thing to note. Now let's change it back because it's going to drive me absolutely insane. There we go. That's nice that I don't have to wait for that. But streamer mode takes it out of 4K. Oh, my image settings. Oh, we're back to auto. Thank you very much. I noticed my... Okay, I can't even get out of auto now. That's probably... Now I probably can change this auto exposure and change my shutter speed. When I did streamer mode, it popped up a box. When I'm in full screen, I can't choose the box. I have to be in windowed mode, like you see right now, or else I'm screwed. And the antivirus that I have, what it did is it blocked my access to the thing and locked up my computer. So thank you, antivirus, for being a real pain in my gluteus maximus. So we did our tracking, but now I want to go to whiteboard. Well, I'll show that after. Overhead mode. It's overhead. Okay. So for overhead, I'm going to have to move the camera. I can view part of the desk. Okay, and that's nice that I have to push my screen further back to get a proper desk view mode. Let's get this out of the way and move my screen back further. Sure. Okay. Go out of desk view mode. And let's do that overhead mode. Now, so overhead mode, I have to adjust my camera. The cool thing is my camera will stay focused where it is on me as I move it. It's really strange. Not used to this weird idea. Now, I bet you it's going to show my screen. That's what it always does every time. There's my screen. What is my screen doing in this view? So now I can turn the camera manually, and now I have a good view. Wow, green. Oh yeah, that's because green shining off from the little light bars. So check this out. We've got the green on my fingers. I'm going to change my app. Let's watch it not go green. There we go. My hands are no longer green. You're welcome. Now let's turn. Ooh, talent. Oh! Now I can take a screenshot. Look this. Mother would only love that face. I can also record directly through the app, but it records to AVI. Okay, let me tell you a little story. It's called, it records to AVI, and then I tried taking the video footage to Magix. I didn't want to zoom up, but okay, you have fun with that. It decided to add tracking. So anyways, detected a gesture, which I didn't do. AI zoom, get off here. You're drunk, AI zoom. Now, what happened with AVI file format that the program records is I bring the audio into Magix Vegas 18 Pro, professional paid version. Can I get audio? No, I can see the video, but I can't get audio. Thank you very much. How convenient. You might think, well, use a different program. Okay, I use DaVinci Resolve 18, non-beta, no audio. So now I have to go get Handbrake, which requires an update to Net Framework, which I download after. Then I get Handbrake. Then it wants to go M4P format, which at least works. But I want an MP4, so I changed it. But yeah, it's a bunch of a mess to take the files from the InstaLink controller. So please update to H.264 or H.265 for your file format. Not AVI. Thank you very much, Insta. Be nice. You're not being very nice. Thank you. And I connect to my screen, so if I shake my screen, I'm probably shaking on the screen as well because the whole camera is shaking. Now, let's see what else is interesting that I can do. Oh, let's change our microphone. Go to Preferences, which I can't see in the software, okay, until I minimize it and not make it full screen. Then I can see my saved locations. I can see my microphone, so let's see if I can change that. Oh, I can't change it while I'm recording. What a sad bummer. Okay, let's change the microphone. AT4040 microphone, and that's the audio you're hearing. And I'm running it through the software. Is there any delay? I don't know. I ordered a set of this because I couldn't tell that the regular non-bundle includes this. And originally the charge for this, ordering it separately, is like $25 shipping, and I ordered the camera. And I didn't think about adding this after the fact. I didn't really need to because I didn't know it included the ones with the package. I contacted Insta support and I let them know before it was shipping, and they offered to refund me the $25 shipping. That's expensive, by the way. I live in Canada. I believe it's ordered from the US through Insta.com, so it does cost them more to ship it. So thank you, Insta tech support, for taking care of me that way, and that's my experience so far with their tech support. And their tech support system automatically writes to make sure that you didn't get lost, to say if you have any other questions or anything like that. So that's pretty cool that they make sure they follow up. Now, I don't know how many markers are in this $7.99 package, $7.99. It might be only 4. Let's find out. And we have, yes, 4 markers in a package we pay $7.99 for. Now, on the topic of packaging, this little thing was shipped in this large bag. See that? Different size. This huge thing. So this is the packaging you're getting with this small thing. So let's see if my screen can work. There's a whiteboard. Whoop, that sticky thing went away. And here. Now, let's see if my screen will be a whiteboard without being white. It's failing. It doesn't know what to do. Okay. We'll probably have a message pop up on the screen in a moment showing it failed. And we do right here. Right here is a failed message. So we tried the screen, but I thought maybe it's too much of an angle because we saw that the one kind of shape here will look way smaller and kind of warped due to the angle. So let's try that a second time. Now, if you're off to the side too much and you're not even and these look warpy from each other, it might not work. But let's see if this works. Is that a problem that my angle was too far off? Oh, I need to see if the camera can detect me. Camera, hello? Well, my screen is a whiteboard now, it seems. Whee! There we go. I'm looking at a screen in a screen because it sees my screen. So it didn't have to be, I can use my computer screen. So now if I'm trying to show something like my edits, I can show you my edits because my screen's now my whiteboard. Funky. That's pretty sweet. Oh, wait, I can go here. This thing's a bit picky in terms of reacting. Okay, that took a moment. And now watch this. It recognizes this as whiteboard mode. It's kind of warped because of the angle, and it makes it flat. So look at my hand, looks all kind of warpy. You can see this little glitch along here. Let's try that and see if it'll work. We've got the scene. Wait, that worked. So if your stickers are square, that works. So you don't have to be a square. So it's literally looking between this. But if I put this sideways, I bet it's not going to work. Okay, I put it like this, and I bet it's not going to work. And I'll move out. Okay, that did work. Now I just removed the stickers, and it's still holding the exact same position as long as I didn't remove the focus. Cool. I had to hold my fingers up longer. There we go. And, it's failing. It's looking. Whoop, I put my markers wrong. Okay, so how about if I have them correct? Wait a minute. It worked. It's not even a whiteboard. So, does it have to be white? Answer is no. Now, for the ultimate test, time to enter the darkness. Can it see me? Let's do AI tracking. There's barely, the only lights that are on are the LEDs. How does it even see me? Impressive. Let's go with even less light, where there's no LEDs. This is going to be, the only thing that's light is reflected off the wall. Whoa, crazy. So it does pretty good at compensating for lack of light, that's for sure. I'll turn off some of these lights. How do you like that one? That's pretty darn impressive. Less light. less light. How are you seeing me? Like, I barely have any lights on. Okay, let's just show you how few lights I have. Here's my lights. This is my lights right there. Oh, you lost me now. You finally lost me after all that time. Your limitations have been shown. I'm disappointed. Okay, I'm not disappointed, but that was pretty good actually. I almost forgot. There's some things that just bug me. Frame rate seems to be like 25 frames per second. It says about 60 FPS in 1080p and everything, but there's no choosing my frame rate. Why? It's kind of would make sense if I want to choose what frame rate I want to render to. In my case, I actually do 29.97 for my videos, not 25 frames per second. That's just kind of ridiculous. But yeah, compensate for that. And you may experience a problem with the OBS. Maybe they'll be updated in a firmware update or something like that. But it seems you have to use JPEG or something like that format. And yeah, otherwise it goes kind of stuttery, like this kind of movement. It just doesn't look right. Most accurate, it seems. However, it should be 5000K, but it's not. Whatever. And let's go to auto white balance, and I think it was at 6300K. And at full screen, you can't go to your menus. You can't accept streaming mode until you like minimize it. It's a pain in the rear end. Allow it so the menu can pop up on full screen mode so you can actually click OK. Can't watch the little how you do things videos that can pop up when trying the different gesture question mark, unless you are in windowed mode or like little toolbar mode, but not in full screen. How about the positive things? Yes, there's a lot of good things about this. The whiteboard mode is actually pretty darn cool. Don't think I'd ever use it personally for a normal use case, but it would be good for a teacher, an instructor, for showing certain details. Let's say if I want to show something specifically. What if I want to whiteboard something like this and show a keyboard or a whiteboard around it? I could actually make the camera focus on there. That is pretty freaking cool. The AI is pretty good for knowing where you are. It kind of goes a little too aggressive on the zoom and zoom out sometimes a bit, but that's kind of nitpicking. They keep on working on this software. We're going to have a really amazing webcam that'll be hard to beat anytime soon, because with the Ozbot Tiny 4K, it just reacts aggressively easy, and so many times it automatically gestured when I didn't want it to when playing around with that. It made it almost impossible to use as a tracking AI webcam. This one is actually usable. So good job there, Insta. So keep on improving the device, and maybe we're going to have something totally amazing, because it's getting there. It's definitely getting there. That software just drives me a bit batty and makes me a bit angry sometimes. But I'll live. Thank you for watching, and have yourselves a most wonderful day.